Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Brandon Morvillius alongside here with me is cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy live here on the WHS Network on YouTube.com here from beautiful Raider Gymnasium in Selma, Indiana. As we have a Lady Raider volleyball on tap here tonight as the 14-3 Madison-Grant Lady Argylls take on your 11-1 Wapahani Lady Raiders. We appreciate you all for joining us here on this Wednesday night of Lady Raider volleyball, coming off a big win last night in which Wapahani traveled to Shenandoah and took care of them rather handily in straight sets for the clean sweep and to remain undefeated in conference play at 4-0 now on the year. We come right back here tonight, play against a very good Madison-Grant team. Definitely, very athletic. Got a little bit of height on the team as well. Madison-Grant does, and they're off to a great start. They're under a new head coach this season under Kayla Jump. I think she was either the varsity assistant or the junior varsity coach before. Not necessarily a new face, but at least a new coach that they are definitely familiar with, and she's got this program right there heading in the same direction it usually is, and that's in the right direction. So it's going to be a tough ball game here tonight for Wapahani. Hopefully we can just continue to stay on a roll like we've been on. We've been playing some of our best volleyball all year here within the last about week or two. And it's very encouraging to see these young ladies. I've said it time and time and again, you can see the maturation process and overall the coming together as a team. And, when you're able to do that, mix that with the talent that they have and overall athletic ability, you're going to win a lot of ball games. And hopefully that same trend continues here tonight. One big thing here for Wapahani, we've said this also time and time and again. You have multiple girls that can go out there and make a big difference. Each girl on this team adds something different to the table. And when you have some of the hitters like Wapahani does, it's not always relying upon one girl just going out there and taking control of the game. Yes, some nights, others might be on, maybe some others might not. But at the end of the day, it's always nice to have that depth. And it is so important to be able to have that. And Wapahani not only has it from a hitting standpoint, but defensively, for the most part, we've really been solid there in the back row with Olivia Smith, also Emily Stewart's done a real nice job. Reese Baker, Mallory Summers there when she's back, a couple other girls, but they're just such a fun group to watch. I say it, and I know I sound like a broken record, but it really is a lot of fun. I enjoy watching. I enjoy watching sports, number one, and I enjoy watching good team sports that gets everyone involved. And this team definitely gets not only everyone involved, but you can tell that they're having fun out there on the court. Even in some of the bad times, you still got to find a way to pick yourself up, and that's what they've done. So as long as they continue to do that, hopefully they can continue being successful here this evening. They're against Madison-Grant, in which they're a team that in recent years has definitely been very, very good. We've seen them in our early years of broadcasting here on the WHS Network years ago when we would take them on in regional championships, and some of the teams that we got to see when Wapahani would come in there made it very interesting and highly competitive. And I still think that competitive nature definitely is still there. Both teams have still had a very successful program all these years later, and it's good to see. Hopefully this will be a great ball game here tonight, and I hope all of you enjoy tonight's ball game for sure. So, folks, we have roughly about 2 minutes until we have the national anthem, as well as all the roster introductions, everything of that sort. So we'll go ahead and step aside here for a brief break, and we'll be back here with more live on the WHS Network. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back live here on the WHS Network, again here on YouTube.com. Again, we appreciate you all for joining us here as we take a look here at tonight's teams first and foremost here for Madison-Grant. We'll start off here with number 2, Morgan Conliff, number 3, Dia Green, number 4, Mallory Stanley, as well as number 5, Esme Turner, number 6, Emma Brummett, number 7, Grace Holmberg, number 8, Tori Hyatt, number 9, Elia Witten, number 10, Sydney Wilson, number 11, Emmy Alcala, number 12, Kayla Comer, number 13, Katie Geringer, number 15, McKenna Luger, and number 16, Gabrielle Rudy. Again, Madison-Grant, coached by Kayla Jump, as the Raiders get a jump start here tonight with a quick 1-0 lead after the kill from Cameron Wise. Speaking of which, here we'll take a look here at the Raiders lineup. Number 1, Olivia Smith. Number 2, Reese Baker. Number 3, Emily Stewart. Number 4, Gracie Stanley. Number 5, Emma Shuck. Number 6, Ashton Zetgrant. Number 7, Chloe Cook. Number 8, Allison Stewart. Number 9, Mallory Summers. Number 10, Briley Felt. Number 11, Macy Bowden. Number 12, Cameron Wise. And number 16, Cadence Brewer. And that's the rundown there for the Lady Raiders. Head coach, obviously, Miss Katie Weir. And assisted by Paige Williamson, Lindy Davis, and Madison Mangus, as that will be tipped into the net by number 7, Grace Holmberg. So a quick 2-0 lead here for Wapahani. And we are having some little minor issues here on the broadcast tonight. For whatever reason, our normal commercials that we run in between sets and so on and so forth are not wanting to work for us tonight. So we're going to, at least during timeouts, we'll stay with you sometimes here and there. We'll kind of spread things out. But during each set, when we go to break, it'll just be kind of dead air time without any commercials here this evening. So just wanted to let all of you people out there know ahead of time. So a now 4-0 lead here for Wapahani. Reese Baker still back to serve here for the Lady Raiders. Dug out there by number 10, Wilson, set and hit over the net. Here's Stewart with the set up to Summers. Hammer time there from Mallory, 5-0 Wapahani. Another nice serve there from Baker, deep there in the backcourt. And another miss hit, this time by number 5, Esme Turner. And a quick timeout taken here by Madison-Grant. We'll go ahead and stick right here with you during the timeout. Again, we'll be back at it again tomorrow night as Wapahani will travel to Randolph Southern. Now, we will actually not be broadcasting tomorrow night. That is a game that anticipating probably not going to get a whole lot of use for that game, unfortunately, just simply because, and this is no disrespect whatsoever, but Randolph Southern, not a very good team this year. And, I know in other years when we played them, we haven't had good views for that game. So we're more than likely not going to be there broadcasting. However, we still will be there to keep you all updated upon the game on Twitter and Facebook tomorrow night again at Randolph Southern. So just wanted to let you all know that. It's not necessarily, it's not an important game, because it very much so is a very important game. And again, no disrespect there towards Randolph Southern, but got to make sure that we broadcast games that people are definitely going to want to watch, and the way things look there might not be the, most exciting game, if you will. So 7-0 Wapahani early here in this first set. Kept alive and hit over, but out of bounds that time there by Turner, as the Raiders continue to get things going early and often here in tonight's ball game. A quick 8-0 lead. Nice floater serve there from Baker. changing it up a little bit. Baker to Stewart. Sets up the Shuck. Dug out that time, and that's going to be under the net. And the roll continues. And unable to dig that one out of the net there was Witten. And now an ace there for Baker. So an 11-0 start here for the Lady Raiders. Exactly what he was hoping for. Doubt that anybody would have necessarily predicted this, but it's obviously very nice to have a nice cushion early here. The main thing is you just want to keep it going here. Wise on the attack. Nice setup from Stewart back to Wise once more, and that's going to head out of bounds. And the Lady Argylls will get on the board with their first point of the game here to make it now 11-1, as we'll see number 15, McKenna Luger, back to serve. Stewart with a set up to Summers. Tipped right across, beautifully done, and a well-placed ball. As we'll see Cadence Brewer now in here for Wapahani, and Cameron Wise back to serve. Dug out by Wilson, and inbounds will be the call. We'll see number 13, Katie Geringer, now in for the Lady Argylls with number 7, Grace Holmberg, back to serve. Summers handles it. Stewart back to Summers once again. Bounced on the top of the net there a couple different times, but able to get it across. Summers again, back at it, finds the back corner along the sideline, and sneaks it in there for another kill. We'll see now Emily Stewart back in here for Wapahani. Seeing her first action of the evening as the Raiders on top in this opening set by 11. Dug out there in a brief moment there by Green. Tipped over, now Madison-Grant back at it again. Kept alive Stewart with the fine dig after the deflection by Brewer. And hit out of bounds by Geringer. And point number 14 here for Wapahani, with Emily Stewart still back to serve. On the attack here, Geringer Smith with the dig. Stewart sets it to Brewer. There was 15, Luger to dig it out. Now blocked. Oh no, they're going to call 4 hits. Didn't get a hand on the ball. Nice job there. Good placement by Emily Stewart. Keeping it tight there along the sideline. And out of bounds is the call. So now we'll see number 3, Green, back to serve for Madison-Grant. Down by a dozen. Handled there by Smith. Stewart sets it to Summers. Nice job there by Luger to get a hand on it. Stewart back to Brewer. Blocked. And unfortunately Smith unable to get there. Smith with the dig. Stewart sets it to Summers once again. And nice soft touch over the outstretched hand of the blocker. Down in play there, as we'll see Chloe Cook in here for Baker. Also in for Madison-Grant will be Mallory Stanley. And Mallory Summers now back to serve for the Raiders. Dug out there by Holmberg. There's Stewart. Stewart to Cook. Yes, sir. Cook getting in on the action. And that will now put the Raiders up 17-4. Set up to Cook once again. Cook bringing some fire to that one. 18-4 Raiders. Again, a little surprising, to be quite honest with you, upon the score of this game. I mean, Madison-Grant, no slouch by any means. Coming into tonight, 14-3 there is Summers. Will hit that one, or serve that one out of bounds, as number 2, Conliff, will return to action for the Lady Argylls. But coming in here at 14-3, I mean, numbers can always be deceiving, but they've beaten some good teams, especially here of late. Just last week, beat Alexandria, which Alexandria's got a pretty nice program over there. So it's not like they're getting little cheapy wins here. They're beating some good quality teams. We'll just chalk it up here to a rough start. We'll see what happens in the second set, but to finish up set number 1, the Raiders still have 7 more points to go. So got to stay focused and get it done. Brewer on the attack there, deflected out of bounds off the blocker, number 13, Geringer. And the Raiders now will see Cameron Wise back in action with Olivia Smith back to serve. Dug out there, shanked backwards by number 6, Brummett. Nice save there from Green, getting all the way towards the wall. Blocked there. Stewart will get it over, but out of bounds. So number 13, Katie Geringer back to serve. Dug out by Stewart, tipped to go over. Now the Wise laying out there, I think was number 9, Witten. Is hit out of bounds. Subbing in here for both teams, first for Madison-Grant, number 11, Emmy Alcala, and for Wapahani will be number 5, Emma Shuck. Allison Stewart back to serve. Fine serve there, but Madison-Grant will get it over. Stewart sapped to Wise. Dug out there, a little free ball action, sent right back to Shuck this time around and finding some open area. Shuck ends up with the kill, and the Raiders now 4 points away from taking the first set. Handled there by Alcala. Hit over by number 6, Brummett. Now Stewart sets it back to Wise, and another kill for Cameron. Set up now there to Hyatt. Dug out, set to Cook. And cooking it right on by the defenders of Madison-Grant, now 23-7. Dug out there, set up by number 9, Witten. And another one hit out of bounds as the airs continue here for Madison-Grant. So this is set point here for Wapahani, up 24-7. Dug by Green, set this time to number 8, Hyatt. Nice dig there. Stewart will get it over. And that's going to be a 2-hit violation. And that will end the first set with Wapahani coming up with a big first set victory, 25-7. As we'll go ahead and step aside here for a break, we got set number 2 coming up live on the WHS Network.
right way to get you where you need to go. We'll be the wheels underneath you, out on the road. We're driven to give you the best service. We're driven cause we know you deserve it. Stoops, we're driven to be the best. Stoops, we're driven to be the best.
Stop on in at Jones Auto Body, owned by J.R. Fain in the 1901 East Memorial Drive in Muncie, Indiana. Jones Auto Body is one of Muncie's oldest and largest auto repair and paint shops, in which they have been serving the community for over 30 years. Jones Auto Body, assurance of quality.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back live here on the WHS Network on YouTube.com. Hey, I got the commercials fixed, I guess, if you will. It wasn't working earlier, so now I finally got to work, but nonetheless, a rout of a first set there for Wapahani, 25-7. Again, if you notice, I'm kind of being a little bit quieter here this evening. It is, while very, very quiet here in this gymnasium, and if I talk too loud, I'm sure of it that people in the hallway will be able to hear me talk. So it's kind of more of a golf way of announcing or broadcasting here this evening, because I got to be so quiet. These fans, I guess, have nothing to cheer about. I'm assuming, usually they tend to be a little bit louder, but tell you what, a lot to cheer about here from Wapahani's side of things. Golly, again, a 25-7 victory there in the first set. Really coming right out of the gate there, starting off great, and I think we was out to I think it was 11-0 or 12-0 lead to open up the ball game. That's tough to come back from. So we'll see what happens here in set number 2 of the evening as Baker starts it out there for the Raiders. Nice dig from Stewart, getting after it there. Allison Stewart, that is. And gets a hand in on the other one, but couldn't get that one up in the air enough to do anything with. So number 5, Turner, comes away with a kill. Smith with the dig. Stewart sets it up to Summers. Nice job right there by number 7, Holmberg. Get their hands up in the air just enough to shield her face and get something there on it, but a 2-hit violation will cost Madison-Grant the point there to tie it up at 1. We'll see Cadence Brewer back in for the Raiders and Cameron Wise back to serve. And a bad pass there on Madison-Grant's behalf, and the Raiders make them pay for it there. Tipped it right back down, 2-1 Wapahani. And some of the little woes continue now. The passing not been, really every facet of the game they've struggled with here this evening. And no disrespect by that, but Madison-Grant having a tough way of things. And off of Wise and out of bounds. Now a 3-2 ball game, and now serving for the Lady Argylls will be number 9, Witten. Set to Brewer, deflected up in the air. Nice job there by Summers, laying out full extension on that one. Number 6, Brummett there on the attack. Stewart back to Summers again. And that is how you get it done right there, folks. That is some good action. Summers dives after the ball, gets the dig, and then will set right back up to her and tips it right in there along the sidelines for the point and gives the Raiders now a 4-2 lead. And served out of bounds there by Emily Stewart, just coming in a moment ago for Emma Schuck. So back to serve now for Madison-Grant will be Katie Geringer. Smith to Stewart. Brewer on the attack, and that's going to be in play on the side of Wapahani. Would have been a 4-hit call. So now tied at 4. Madison-Grant showing a little promise now as Summers comes away with a kill, and looked like Summers might have tweaked her ankle right there or something. She came down a little awkwardly, so we hope she's all right. Seems to be okay. I don't know if it was just that initial little move or whatever the case might have been. But the Lady Argylls hanging right in there now, coming back. Tying things up here at 5 with number 6, Emma Brummett, now back to serve. And skipped over the top of the net, now will be in there for an ace. And then Madison-Grant regains the lead here in set number 2. They've already nearly reached that threshold of 7 points, in which it took them the entire set to collect that there in set number 1. So very nice job here by them to answer right back here in this second set and come back after it and try to fix whatever mistakes they've been having and not only make this a ball game but potentially win this second set there if you're Madison-Grant. So the Raiders come away with a point, now 7-6, and you got Olivia Smith back here to serve. Dug there by Green, set up, and a miscommunication, but Green will get it over. Stewart sets it to Wise with the kill. And Smith will serve that one out of bounds. Not a bad ball though, really, if you think about it. You know, keeping the pressure there on that back row. Nearly had it. Green with the dig. Set up this time number 7. Hyatt blocked. That time I believe there by Wise and blocked again. And now back here with a 2-point lead is Wapahani. We'll see Emma Schuck back in for Emily Stewart. And back to serve will be number 8, Allison Stewart. Again, if he was joining us last night, Allison collected her 1,000th kill last night. And tell you what, 1,000 assist, my bad. Not 1,000th kill. But nevertheless, that's a big accomplishment. Very, very big accomplishment and definitely deserved the recognition. So he was happy to put that on the broadcast last night. Kept alive there by Madison-Grant somehow. Nicely done. Wise will get the kill. But again, we do want to congratulate Allison Stewart there with collecting the 1,000 career assist last night at Shenandoah. Nice tip back down there by Cameron Wise, and the Raiders now push it to a 4-point lead. Set up here by Witten to number 5, Turner, and another one hit into the net. And now a timeout taken by the Lady Argylls, and we'll stick right here with you during that timeout. So this will be our Jones Auto Body game break. Again, some sponsors we'd like to recognize here this evening. FC Tucker, Muncie Realtors, Ted Cook and Joanne Davis. Let Ted and Joanne be the key to all of your real estate needs. buying, selling, or investment properties, we get the job done. So call Ted Cook at 765-744-8143 and Joanne Davis at 765-748-1316. Again, that is FC Tucker, Muncie Realtors, Ted Cook, and Joanne Davis. Also, another proud sponsor here, Kara J. Wolf DDS, located at 3915 Wheeling Avenue in Muncie, Indiana. Make your appointment now to receive great care and leave with a pristine, beautiful smile. You can contact them at 765-288-1560. Again, that is Kara J. Wolf DDS. Greatly appreciate her for the sponsorship here of us on the WHS Network. Again, a 12-7 lead here in set number 2. Again, Wapahani already took set number 1, 25-7. And another deflection out of bounds off the hand of the blocker, and the Raiders continuing to push that lead. We were tied at 6 just a few moments ago. Since then, it has really been all Raiders for the most part. Smith to Stewart, set to Cook, a very close set to the net. About the only thing she could have done right there was get that tip over the net. Stewart gets there in time, back to Cook once more. Now to Wise, Stewart, Shuck, trying to find a sideline and blocked right back down there by Cameron Wise. Some good action right there by Wapahani. Handled there by Wilson. Sent to number 5, Turner, and another miscue by the Lady Argylls. As Wapahani now extends the lead to 8. Smith with the set to Summers, blocked and off of Shuck and out of bounds. Subbing in here for the Lady Argylls will be number 13, Katie Geringer. And now back to serve for Madison-Grant will be number 7, Grace Holmberg. Smith will dig it out. Stewart sets it to Wise. Tipped over the net, and right there was number 7, Holmberg. And now Geringer will hit that one in the net. Point for Wapahani, and Baker will return to the Raider lineup here for Chloe Cook. Nice serve there from Baker. Nice job there from number 9, Witten, to be able to get that ball over. Running that one down and giving themselves a chance, as Wapahani will be called with a net violation. So number 6, Brummett back in, and serving will be number 3, Green. And a miscommunication there by Summers and Smith. So an ace for Green. Smith with another dig, set to Summers. Goodness. So put a whole lot into that one there. Cameron Wise now back to serve. Cadence Brewer back in for Wapahani. Dug by Luger, set to Brummett. And another one hit in the net. And now we'll see number 10, Briley Felton, now in here for the Lady Raiders. Seeing her first action of the night. Again, Wise still back to serve with Wapahani up by 8 here in set number 2. Dug there by Luger, set up again here to Brummett. Tipped up in the air, and they was having a tough way of things to get that out of the net. Number 12, Kayla Comer, subbing in here for Madison-Grant with number 9, Leah Witten back there to serve just a moment ago. Set to Shuck. Nice hands right there, and Brewer just sticks the old left hand up in the air, punches it over and down in play. As Emily Shuck will now sub in here or Emily Stewart will come in. That was a mixture of Emily Stewart and Emma Shuck all at once. Emily Stewart back to serve. She just came in a moment ago. On the attack there was number 13, Geringer, after a nice dig. There was Emily Stewart. Stewart back at it again. Now Allison sets it to Felton. Kept alive. Brewer on the attack there. Kept alive by Olivia Smith. Back at it again will be Felton. Soft tip over the net. Brummett. Now Stewart, Brewer, dug this time by Green, and now a net violation will cost Madison-Grant the point. So some good action on both sides for that point, but Wapahani comes away with it after an unfortunate error there for Madison-Grant. Brummett with a dig and tipped right back down. Well executed there from Cadence Brewer. And now we'll see number 6, Ashton Zitgraff, in here for the first time tonight for Emily Stewart. Zitgraff's getting some time here as the Raiders are 4 points away from taking a 2-0 lead. Brummett there to Witten, now to Geringer, blocked. I think that might have been Felton on the block. We had a little bit of her and Brewer on the block right there, and now 22-11. And now another sub in here will be Macy Bowden for Allison Stewart. And for the Lady Argylls, we'll see number 8, Tori Hyatt, back in here as well. And served in the net by Zitgraff. Katie Geringer back to serve for Madison-Grant, again with Wapahani up by 10. Looking to close out set number 2 here, and that's going to be an ace, as after that was shanked to the left side off of Baker. And off of Smith, couldn't get out of the way. And now we'll have a timeout taken here by Wapahani, just to get these girls to regroup here a little bit. You know, some little things like that making Madison-Grant, or giving them an opportunity to get right back into this thing. Again, be back at it tomorrow night again, as I mentioned earlier. We'll be traveling to Randolph Southern. Again, we will not be broadcasting that game. But however, we will be there still covering the game by getting all of you guys updates throughout the game on Twitter and Facebook. So make sure to follow us and like us. Like our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, and that's at WHS Network. So Geringer back to serve, coming back out of the timeout. Smith will dig it. Bowden will set it up, and Felton will put it across here. Nice hands here from Geringer, as we'll see number 8, Hyatt, on the attack. Baker to Bowden to Brewer, and out of bounds. And that one's going to be served into the net. So it gives the Raiders a break there, and hopefully can wrap up this second set here. We'll see number 4, Mallory Stanley, subbing back in here for the Lady Argylls, and Briley Felton will be back to serve. Green with the dig, Witten with the setup, and blocked. Rather, it's going to be 4 hits. I thought it was a clean block by us, but hey, we'll take it nonetheless. Felton back to serve again here to close out the second set. Set point here for the Raiders, and shank to the left side, an ace, and another great way to wrap up set number 2 here of the evening. Wapahani 25-7, 25-15 through the first 2 sets of the night. We'll step aside here for a break, and we'll be back here with set number 3 coming up live on the WHS Network.
Need legal advice or representation, you can trust B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law in Muncie. Our focus is personal injury. We handle cases involving serious injuries, wrongful deaths, all vehicle crashes, nursing home cases, medical product and drug recalls, and slips, trips, and falls. No fee until we win. We offer evening, weekend, home, and hospital appointments for your convenience. Contingency fee arrangements are available. For a free consultation, call B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law, today.
Alrighty, welcome back here, folks, as we are about set to begin set number 3 of the evening. Again, Wapahani won the first 2 sets here of the night, 25-7, 25-15. So getting back at it here again, another busy week this week here for Wapahani. Again, we'll have another busy week next week as well. But again, off to a strong start here, 11-1 coming into tonight's game. And they're 1 set away from upping that win total 1 more there. As we'll see Green back to serve there to open up set number 3. Stewart sets it to Wise. And number 15, Luger, was trying to get it over, but she got called there for the 2-hit violation. As we'll see Baker now in here for Cook. So Baker back to serve. And out of bounds is the call there by the line judge. So a rarity there for Baker. Serve 1 out of bounds. And now we'll see number 9, Witten, back to serve here for the Lady Argylls. Stewart will set it to Shuck. And out of bounds. So now 2-1 Madison-Grant. Set to Summers. And off of Green and out of bounds. A kill for Mallory. Cadence Brewer back in for the Raiders. And Cameron Wise back to serve. Again, a nice crowd here on hand overall. Not been very loud. I've said that a couple different times already. That's why my voice, I've had to be a little bit quieter here this evening. Normally I'm, more upbeat and high energy, if you will. but it's kind of a little bit difficult to be that way when it's so quiet in here. I don't want to, I guess, be the loudest person in the room, so to speak. But nice job there by Summers to find a way to plant that one down in play, with Emily Stewart now back in here for Emma Shuck, and she'll be back to serve. Green will dig it out, set up this time around to Brummett, and blocked. And the Raiders back on top here by 1. Skip over the top of the net, drawn up nicely there by Emily. I'm just going to assume she did that on purpose. If not, then that was just great luck there for Emily. 5-3 Wapahani. Dug out that time and tipped over there by number 15, Luger. Brewer on the attack, finds the back corner. Nobody there, and another well-executed ball there from Cadence, as the Raiders are now able to double up on the Lady Argylls here in set number 3. Into the net she goes. Number 5, Turner back in, and serving will be number 6, Emma Brummett. Baker, Stewart lays out for her, and Baker will get it back across, set up this time, and tipped across by number 5, Turner. Summers back on the attack. And again, reaching back like she was going to really hammer it home, but just let up just enough to sneak it there in front of everyone. Chloe Cook back in, and Summers back to serve. Witten with the setup, and hit out of bounds by number 5, Turner. Witten sets it to Luger. Emily Stewart there with a dig. Allison will set it to Cook. Handled there by Holmberg, kept alive, and Cook back on the attack again there. So number 7, Holmberg, collects the kill there to make it 8-5. We'll see number 8, Tori Hyatt back in for Madison-Grant, and serving will be McKenna Luger. Stewart set up there to Cook and out of bounds. So the lead now down to 1. Got to get back in our zone here for whatever reason. I think we kind of fallen out of it there a little bit, gotten maybe a little complacent at times. You know, nothing major, but you know, you want to play your best volleyball here, and you want to finish this off the right way. Playing at the highest level. Out of bounds on the hit there was Turner. Dug out by Luger, set. And Turner, again, having a rough way to go in there. She hits that one into the net. And the Raiders lead now back to 4. And that's going to be an ace now for Olivia. Shanked off to the right side. Green with the setup. Turner will set it across. Stewart, quick set there to Wise. Got her fingertips on it there, couldn't get a whole lot on it. And Turner will slam that one home. Stewart tried to get over there and make something of it, but unfortunately couldn't come across there with anything. We'll see number 13, Geringer, and number 7, Holmberg back in here. Holmberg will be back to serve. Down by 4 here in set number 3. So hitting to the net there. Madison-Grant again having some more passing issues there as Emma Shuck returns here for Emily Stewart. Allison Stewart back to serve. Witten will tip it over. There's Shuck to Stewart. Set to Cook. With the kill there will be Chloe. Luger with the dig. Witten sets it over there to Geringer. Nice dig from Summers. Stewart back to Cook once more. This time that one will sail out of bounds. So Green serving. Smith digs it. Stewart sets it up. Wise will get it across, but blocked. Stewart now to Cook. Luger's there, and I think Witten might have got away with a 2-hit violation there. Set back over to Cook once more, blocked. And they're going to get him with the 4 hits. That looked to have got a hand on that, but nevertheless, I guess it is what it is. So 14-10. Summers, Stewart. Wise, yes. Baker back in for Cook. And she will be back to serve with Wapahani up by 5 here in set number 3. Witten with the setup. Stewart now back to Summers. Green with the dig. And hit out of bounds by Brummett. Deflected up in the air there by Wise. Smith with a set to Summers and hit into the net. It's one thing we really haven't done much of here this evening. From a hitting standpoint, we have been about right on the money. Yes, we've had some out of bounds, don't get me wrong, but very few in the net, so we're at least getting it over and giving ourselves a chance. Man, nice block right there. Summers coming guns blazing there. Wise back with the same thing and 2 back-to-back blocks. That was just a nice job there from Madison-Grant. Smith, Stewart, over to Summers. Changing it up right there. Now Geringer going after it. Baker will get over there, but went off the arm wrong, went backwards, and Madison-Grant making a game of this here. Up now only by 3 is Wapahani. Luger sets it up to Geringer, nearly got into the net. Green there that time. Witten back to Luger, and she'll hit that one out of bounds. As the Raiders get back on the board here with Brewer back in, and now we'll have Wise back to serve. Stewart back to Shuck that time, tipped over the net. Nicely done there by Emma. Blockers were coming up quick, fast, in a hurry trying to block that, and well, Shuck had other ideas. So now we'll see Gracie Stanley in here for the first time of the night. She'll be back to serve. And that will be an ace. That's a very nice way to come into the ball game. Timeout now by Madison-Grant, and we'll take a timeout of our own. The Raiders up by 6, 19-13 here in set number 3. We'll be back right after the timeout. All right, folks, so back out of the timeout with Wapahani up here by 6, and Briley Felton will now re-enter the ball game here for Mallory Summers. Again, Stanley back to serve. And barely got that one over. There was number 4, Stanley. Mallory Stanley that was, and Felton, the old left-hander, showing the southpawer can do something right there with the kill. Witten with a setup to Gehringer. Allison Stewart lays out for that one. Brewer comes up with a tip over the net down in there, and the Raiders now 4 points away from a clean sweep here of Madison-Grant this evening. There's Green. Witten to Gehringer. Stanley gets a hand in on it. Now to Baker and Allison Stewart. Little free ball action for the Lady Argylls. Brummett at it there. Now a net violation on Wapahani. We'll see number 8, Tori Hyatt, subbing back in for the Lady Argylls. Gehringer back to serve. Felton with a dig. Stewart gets over there, and Baker will get it across. Brummett back at it again, and another kill. So Madison-Grant not wanting to go away. Didn't expect him to. And shanked off there to the left side off of Stanley. Got to finish strong here, ladies. Can't afford to give them any kind of hope here as we wind down, and that one's going to be served out of bounds. So we'll see Emily Stewart back in for Emma Shuck, and she'll be back to serve with the Raiders up by 6. Stanley, Stewart, Brewer, and out of bounds. So Brummett now back to serve for Madison-Grant, down by 5. Stewart, and Felton tips it over. Down in play there as number 10, Wilson, tried to get there, but unable to get there in time. As we'll see Cook back in for Wapahani. Felton back to serve. Witten with a setup, and Stanley digs it. Stewart sets it to Brewer. Again, executing on the back corner back there. And here's match point now for Wapahani, up 24-17. It's been a real nice win here for the Lady Raiders as they continue their winning ways here, and served into the net. Not big. So Luger back there to serve, handled by Felton. Stewart over to Cook. And in there, and the Raiders win it. So Wapahani completes a sweep of Madison-Grant here this evening with a 25-7, 25-15, 25-18 victory over the Lady Argylls from Madison-Grant. Again, a big win here as Wapahani now 12-1 here on the season. And just keep rolling here. You know, these ladies have played, are starting to really play some real nice volleyball. Again, you want to see this team, continue to grow and progress as the season goes along, and I'm definitely sure that they have done that now 13 games into the regular season. So again, Wapahani back at it tomorrow night as they'll be traveling to Randolph Southern for another conference game. A very big game there again. We will be going. We're not going to broadcast it again just because, we're not expecting that to be a game where we're going to get very many views for that one. And so we still will be there, but we'll have updates on our Twitter and Facebook pages tomorrow night. So make sure to catch us up on that. And, again, looking forward to another nice evening of Lady Raider volleyball coming up tomorrow night at Randolph Southern. So big win here tonight now. Again, 12-1 on the season. We appreciate you all for joining us. Again, we appreciate all of our sponsors, Jones Auto Body, Stoops Automotive Group, Buick and GMC Dealership, B. Joseph Davis, Attorney at Law, the Muncie Dragway, FC Tucker, Muncie Realtors, Ted Cook and Joanne Davis, the Liberty Prairie Alumni Association, and Kara J. Wolf, DDS. Greatly appreciate all of them. And so, folks, until next time, Brandon Morvillius alongside cameraman Jordan Red Beard and McCoy saying good night from Raider Gymnasium.